Welcome to the This Week in Astrology video forecast. This is episode number 65 for the second half of March 2016. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Benjamin Bernstein of astroshaman.com, coming to you from Asheville, North Carolina. I'm an astrologer, shamanic healer, and awakening activator, and it's my pleasure to bring you these semi-monthly astrology forecasts. I apologize, I'm putting this up a few days late. I've been swamped with responses to my eclipse special. And just as a note, if you're a fan of these videos and you want to get to the forecast before I put it on video, the video is the third in a series of things I do twice a month when I do these. You can always go to my website, astroshaman.com, and the very first thing I will do is post the forecast there as a blog. So if the video has not come up when it should, then go to astroshaman.com, check the site, and it may be that I've already posted it there, but I haven't got to the video yet. So just in case I'm late again, that's what I would recommend. So let's look at what is new for the second half of March. There is a lunar eclipse in Libra and a powerful spring equinox chart. We also have a magical mystic rectangle, Jupiter aspecting Pluto and Saturn, Saturn turning retrograde, and more. What's old as we come into this forecast period? We got a waxing moon, a bunch of T-squares still in play, including Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn through March 18th. We've got Ceres, Jupiter, and Saturn through March 27th, Jupiter, Saturn, and Chiron through April 1st, and Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune through July 1st. That's a lot of T-squares running at once, and I've talked about all these on prior forecasts. There's also, by the way, another aspect pattern, or am I misspeaking here? A Yod, yes, with Pallas Athena, Jupiter, and Uranus. That's still going through March 20th. And we still have Jupiter retrograde through May 9th. So that's what's old. So now let's move on to our individual days of the forecast. On Wednesday, March 16th, abundant prosperity and transformative spirituality are two great ways to take advantage of a Jupiter-Pluto trine. Jupiter 17 Virgo, Pluto 17 Capricorn. Other possibilities supported by this smooth and harmonious aspect include deepening your wisdom through higher education and immersing yourself in a foreign culture. And that's just the meaning of the naked planets. With Jupiter in Virgo, health and service to others can be transformed and powerfully amplified. This trine lasts nearly a year. Jupiter and Pluto came into orb, which means close enough to connect, on August 26th of 2015, and they'll stay connected through August 16th of 2016. On Thursday, March 17th, you can more powerfully embody the mind of the mentor in the hands of the healer with Mercury conjunct Chiron. Mercury, 21 Pisces, Chiron, also 21 Pisces. This is also a great time to learn more about spiritual healing. On Friday, March 18th, intuitive flashes could help you take your feminine assertiveness and strategic planning to the next level with Uranus sextile Pallas Athena. That's Uranus 19 Aries, Pallas Athena 19 Aquarius. On Saturday, March 19th, we have a T-square with Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn. Now, a Jupiter-Saturn square has been the foundation of lots of T-squares in the last few weeks. The newest one begins today on March 19th, a Venus-Jupiter-Saturn T-square. This aspect pattern will be with us for about a week and a half, peaking on March 25th and ending on March 29th. All of Venus's core meanings, relationship, creativity, and money will be brought into focus. Where these areas are in harmony with your soul purpose, you'll feel expansion and support. Dive in deeper. Where you're out of harmony, you'll experience increased challenge, repair, or release. Venus's placement in Pisces creates more specific meanings. The most obvious include the depth of your relationship with your higher self, soul-deep relationships with incarnate beings, human or otherwise, effortlessly inspired creativity, and intuitively directed money management. As always, focus on the specific opportunities that attract you most. Also, on Saturday, March 19th, you may be inspired to surrender more deeply to the divine with the Piscean Sun quintile Pluto. Sun, 29 Pisces, Pluto, 17 Capricorn. This aspect can also give a powerful boost to your inspired creativity. On Sunday, March 20th, spring is sprung as the sun enters Aries at 12:30 a.m. That's 8 seconds after 12:30 a.m. actually. This is a classic launching time for new ventures and supports moving forward as the pioneer, the warrior, and the sexual being. The sap is rising. This aggressive energy is thrust forward prominently in the Spring Equinox Chart for the United States, cast for Washington, D.C. This is because Mars is rising just 1.5 degrees into the first house, as you can see in the graphic, and it's in fiery Sagittarius, no less. This suggests that the U.S. will be taking a more assertive role in world affairs for the next 3 months. Saturn, also relatively early in the first house, could indicate the country stepping forward with more authority. However, the main flavor of the Spring Equinox Chart, regardless of what country it's cast for, is Piscean. There are 6 objects in the sign of the Fishes, including 2 personal planets. First up in Pisces is a very tight Neptune-Venus conjunction. This powerfully supports inspired creativity, divine union practices, and consciously experiencing the divine energy which permeates the physical world. Focus on these more life-affirming activities if you find yourself tempted by substance abuse, excessive escapism, victim-perpetrator relationship dynamics, or aimless drifting. Another strong Piscean signature of the Spring Equinox Chart is the tight triple conjunction of Chiron, the South Lunar Node, and Ceres. This could bring up unhealed energies within you, including self-esteem issues, childhood wounds, shadow material, and past life karma. For most people I know who are walking the path of spiritual awakening, consciously facing and clearing these energies is a routine part of the process. Every time a layer of these heavy energies is cleared, the awakened state gets sweeter and deeper. Many people have found my healing invocation helpful in clearing these challenging energies. As you can see from the graphic, if you find that image on my website, astroshaman.com, the little banner that says Heal and Awaken Invocations, click it. It'll take you to a page with blog posts. It's the last blog post on the page right now as I record this. If you're on a phone or tablet, scroll down until you see the purple banner. Now, if you're far enough along in your healing journey, these Piscean planets can help you put past life skills as a healer, mentor, or awakener to use in this incarnation. Also, a Jupiter North Node conjunction in Virgo supports moving forward on your destined path with joy and enthusiasm. This is still all part of the chart for the Spring Equinox. It also supports serving others as some sort of teacher or role model. These 2 points straddle the midheaven of the U.S. Spring Equinox Chart, indicating that the U.S. may play a pivotal guiding role in world affairs this spring. In addition, all of the astrological events described earlier in this forecast post are part of this Spring Equinox Chart. So I've talked about the Jupiter-Pluto trine, Mercury-Chiron conjunction, the sextile with Uranus and Pallas Athena, the Venus-Jupiter-Saturn T-square. They're all part of this Spring Equinox Chart. So roll them in there. Another note, on Sunday, March 20th, the effects of a Venus-Neptune conjunction at 10 Pisces have already been described as part of the Spring Equinox Chart interpretation. On Monday, March 21st, a quintile between Piscean Mercury and Pluto, that's Mercury 29 Pisces, Pluto 17 Capricorn, can make it easier for you to tune into the flow of divine information and inspiration that's constantly flowing to you. I found that I'm always better off trusting what that still small voice tells me. Also, on Monday, March 21st, Mercury transits Aries today, March 21st through April 5th. This can help you learn new things and be an enthusiastic teacher. Just be careful not to turn your words into weapons. No major astrology events on Tuesday, March 22nd, but on Wednesday, March 23rd, there's a lunar eclipse at 8:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This is with the moon at 3 degrees, 17 minutes Libra. This full moon on steroids is nowhere near as powerful as the solar eclipse we had on March 8th, but even a relatively mellow eclipse is still stronger than an ordinary lunation, and it can have significant effects for at least 6 months. Let's first consider this lunation as a Libra full moon. Take stock of how your relationships, creativity, and finances are doing. Adjust what needs tweaking and release whatever has outworn its usefulness. This eclipse's strongest aspect is a tight opposition of Mercury to the moon. A Mars sextile to the moon is also notable. These can help energize your communication within your relationships. Very helpful if adjustments are needed. You can also express your creativity out into the world more easily. Mercury is usually associated with words, but can also include nonverbal expressions such as dance or instrumental music. This eclipse's other aspect, a Saturn quintile, can give you the inspiration you need to organize and implement all this. This lunar eclipse's Sabian symbol is a group of young people sit in spiritual communion around a campfire. The campfire in this symbol can represent a common cause you share with others. Spiritual communion, more broadly interpreted, can mean that you're of like mind with those people. And young, rather than being restricted to biological age, could carry the sense of young at heart, enthusiastically open to new experience and understanding. So this symbol could be asking, are you still young at heart? Have you identified your passion, and have you joined with others to pursue it? Also, on Wednesday, March 23rd, a 6-month square between Jupiter and Saturn, that's Jupiter 16 Virgo, Saturn 16 Sagittarius, is exact today. It came into orb on January 19th. It will last through July 21st. Now, Jupiter and Saturn are complementary opposites. Jupiter expands, Saturn contracts. Other Jupiter-Saturn polarities can include optimistic, pessimistic, sunny, dark, joyful, depressed, playful, serious, and philosophical, practical. Now, neither is inherently better than the other. Neither endless expansion nor unrelenting constriction is helpful in the long term. This Jupiter-Saturn square invites you to see how you're balancing these energies in your life. A little reflection should show whether you have an appropriate mix. A 50-50 balance is not necessarily the best and is rarely the case. The pendulum naturally swings from one side to the other depending on your life circumstances. With Jupiter in Virgo, this dynamic square can help you enjoy expanded productivity in the areas of health, service, and efficient routines. Saturn is in Sagittarius, the sign Jupiter rules. This can help you put a serious focus in areas such as religion, philosophy, and higher education, as well as gaining wisdom and experience from foreign influences. Also, on Wednesday, March 23rd, a Sun-Mercury conjunction, both planets at 4 Aries, lights a fire under learning and communication and is part of today's lunar eclipse. On Thursday, March 24th, if you're feeling sorrow associated with loss, a Chiron-Ceres conjunction at 21 Pisces could be the catalyst. Chiron is the archetype of the wounded healer, and Ceres grieved deeply when her daughter Persephone was raped and abducted by Pluto. It's important not to repress challenging feelings. You have to feel it to heal it. Many have found my healing invocations helpful in processing challenging emotions. I put the banner back up there, but you know how to get there already. Holotropic style breathwork, shamanic ceremonies, individual shamanic healing sessions, which I offer as part of my services, and similar processes can create dynamic, safe containers to help you heal emotional wounds more quickly. This 2-month conjunction came into orb on February 23rd. It'll last through April 23rd. Also, on Thursday, March 24th, the planet of learning and communication gets a double hit of the first astrological archetype as Aryan Mars trines Mars, rather as Aryan Mercury trines Mars. That's Mercury at 6 Aries and Mars at 6 Sagittarius. All mental activities are strongly and smoothly energized. On Friday, March 25th, Saturn turns retrograde today at 16 degrees, 24 minutes Sagittarius. He'll turn direct again on August 13th around 10 Sagittarius. This is a good time to reflect on basic Saturnian themes: maturity, responsibility, productivity, time management, planning the work, and working the plan. And how seriously are you taking Sagittarian themes such as religion, philosophy, higher education, travel, and teaching others things that will help them lead better lives? Pay attention to sensitive points in your chart near the degree numbers I just gave in the mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. For several weeks around the time Saturn stations, you may experience additional challenge in these areas if adjustment or release is needed. It's also an excellent time to create a more solid foundation in those areas that are going well. Also on Friday, March 25th, a Jupiter-Saturn-Chiron T-square peaks. It's one of 2016's most important aspect patterns, and it began back on February 14th, this Jupiter-Saturn-Chiron T-square. Again, peaks today on March 25th. It ends on April 1st, just a few more days. Even though it began on Valentine's Day, there's nothing romantic about this T-square. And by the way, I'm going to repeat the interpretation I gave you a couple of forecasts ago. I'm guessing you've forgotten it by now. But if you're willing to work through the childhood wounds, shadow material, and past life karma it stirs up, it can help you become a more psychologically whole being who can relate more harmoniously with others. The most distinctive planet in this T-square is Chiron. It catalyzes wounding to show us where we need to heal. It also supports us in our growth as healers, mentors, and awakeners. Jupiter and Saturn, the other members of the T-square, are considered astrology's social planets. This is the middle tier between the personal planets, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. The social planets, as the name implies, shape how we relate with the society around us. Now, dealing with the shadow at its most basic level, this Jupiter-Saturn-Chiron T-square shows that the whole world will be facing its shadow material. It's already in process through the second half of February and the rest of March. So when dealing with shadow material, most people tend to repress it, numb out, or project it onto others. But I believe we really only have two choices: have it harass us endlessly throughout our lives, or heal it once and for all. Again, my healing invocation may be helpful to you if you're ready to feel it and heal it. And as I've already said, I'm a big fan of shamanic ceremonies and holotropic style breath work to really process this stuff rapidly. Now, mentally based approaches can offer some help, but I found that the deepest and most lasting healing comes when you re-experience the original traumatic emotions in a safe container. The modalities I just described do this, as do many others. So, if you get some challenging emotions stirred up under this Jupiter-Saturn-Chiron T-square, embrace it as an opportunity. The more you clear or transmute all that heavy energy, as I've already said, the more easily you'll hold a more blissful, awakened consciousness. In my experience, it's 100% worth the effort. Also here on Friday, March 25th, we have the Venus-Saturn-Chiron T-square that started on March 19th, peaking today, the 25th of March, ending on March 29th. Also, here on Friday, March 25th, today's Venus-Jupiter opposition, Venus 16 Pisces, Jupiter 16 Virgo, is part of the Venus-Jupiter-Saturn T-square I've been talking about, and so is today's Venus-Saturn square. That's Venus 16 Pisces, Saturn 16 Sagittarius. So the meanings of these are included in that T-square interpretation. On Saturday, March 26th, a mystic rectangle with Vesta, Juno, Jupiter, and Neptune fires up. It's one of astrology's most flowing and magical aspect patterns. There's many creative possibilities here. Actions that include at least some of these archetypes include: partner with a change-oriented ally to work for a worthy cause, buddy up with someone in a spiritual practice that integrates service to the collective, begin or deepen a sacred sexual connection with a beloved. In this case, Juno in Scorpio is contributing the sexual energy to that interpretation. This mystic rectangle with Vesta, Juno, Jupiter, and Neptune begins today on March 26th, peaks on April 7th, and ends on April 15th. Also, on Saturday, March 26th, what a great day to get out and move your body! A Sun-Mars trine, Sun 6 Aries, Mars 6 Sagittarius, can lay down a smooth groove for exercise, sports, sex, leadership, initiation, and striving for a worthy cause. With Mars and Sagittarius, you can also direct some energy to adventurous travel, exploring the meaning of life, and being a student or teacher. Also, on Saturday, March 26th, are you ready for some transformation and empowerment in your relationships, finances, or creativity? The wheels are greased with Venus sextile Pluto, Venus 17 Pisces, Pluto 17 Capricorn. With Venus in Pisces, there's also plenty of juice for spiritual communion and connecting with the divine energy in others. We have 2 days in a row with no major astrology events. That's Sunday, the 27th of March, and Monday, March 28th. Moving along to Tuesday, March 29th, Mercury makes 2 aspects today, a Mercury-Jupiter quincunx, Mercury 16 Aries, Jupiter 16 Virgo, and a Mercury-Saturn trine, Mercury 16 Aries, Saturn 16 Sagittarius. The Jupiter quincunx could cause your thinking or communication to be a bit agitated or erratic. If so, call on the flowing Saturn trine to smooth and stabilize your intellectual functioning. On Wednesday, March 30th, service to a higher cause, made concretely manifest in the physical world, receives smooth and easy support from a Vesta-Jupiter-Pluto grand trine. This aspect pattern begins today on March 30th, peaks on April 14th and ends on April 27th. Also, on Wednesday, March 30th, on the challenging side, a Venus-Chiron conjunction at 22 Pisces could trigger old wounds in your relationships. A more enjoyable possibility is engaging in healing or mentoring with someone else. You could also use this energy to put the finishing touches on your creative works. Also, on Wednesday, March 30th, you may be tempted to just tell it like it is, blunt and in your face, with Arian Mars square Pluto. But is that really the best way to get what you want? This aspect does not rule out sensitivity and diplomacy, even as it supports fiery, exciting communication. On Thursday, March 31st, your intuitive flashes may be unusually bold and adventurous with Arian Mercury conjunct Uranus at 20 Aries. Express yourself with originality and passion. So what's coming up on our next show, I'll tell you momentarily, but first I want to give you a few quick announcements. Information on everything that follows is in the What's New section of the homepage of astroshaman.com. Now, I spoke on the last forecast video about the March 8th eclipse, and I talked about the lunar eclipse on this one on March 23rd. If you're concerned about how these eclipses might affect you or just want to make the best use of them, it's time for an eclipse-focused astrology consultation. I am willing to do a free chart check to see how these eclipses hit you. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. Now, the March 8th solar eclipse lined up at 19 Pisces. If you have sensitive natal points between 14 and 24 degrees in any mutable sign, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces, this eclipse could be rocking your world up to the next 12 months. These things have a long-lasting effect. The March 23rd lunar eclipse in Libra is not as strong, but an eclipse is still an eclipse. It's at 3 Libra, and it will most strongly impact your sensitive natal points between 0 and 8 degrees in the cardinal signs. Those are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. It will also light up your important natal points at 28 or 29 in the mutable signs of Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So, it's a perfect time to discover exactly how these eclipse energies are affecting your chart and how to make the best use of them. You can save up to 55% off my full rates when you do an eclipse-focused session in March. Now, I've had really strong response to this special, and I'm actually recommending that instead of just asking for the chart check, you actually put yourself on my calendar. Again, these eclipse effects last 6 to 12 months, so even if I don't get to you until after this next eclipse on the 23rd, it is still relevant. So here's what you can do. On the base level, you could just ask for the chart check. As I record this, I literally have over 160 charts waiting to be checked. I've been plowing through them the best I can, but it is a massive backlog. And I will try to get to them all. But if you want to come to the front of the line, what I'm going to ask you to do is go to astroshaman.com. There is a Book Now button there on the services page and the home page. And if you click that and go ahead and book the session, and then in the notes for the session, write cancel if not needed. And if I study your chart and I see you don't really need the session, then I will cancel it and say, thanks for putting it at the front of the line, don't need it, no need to do it. If you are having a lot of juice, either the eclipses are super strong or you've got really intense transits, I'll recommend that you go ahead with it. You can still make the choice to cancel it even if I confirm it, so you're at no risk. But anyhow, what that will do is it'll put you at the front of the pile. I am giving first priority to people who actually book the sessions, and that's been what's keeping me busy these last few days, and why I'm late with the forecast here is because I've been so busy doing all these chart check eclipse sessions. So if you want me to look at that, I will do it. If you want it at the front of the line, go ahead and book the session and tell me to cancel it. If you don't need it, I will get right on it and do the chart check right away. So I hope I was clear on how I'm doing that. That's the only fair way I know to give priority to those who are expressing the level of commitment of saying, yes, I definitely want to do it if I need it. So another announcement is you can join me on the Emboldened Heart teleseminar this Tuesday, March 22nd at 2 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. You can participate live by phone, web, or Skype. The Emboldened Heart series offers you energetic and divine assistance and can help you live the life your heart is truly calling for. My topic will be Divine Embodiment and Everyday Awakening, simple invocations to help you enjoy more harmony, grace, and synchronicity. I'll discuss my Heal and Awaken invocations, and will lead listeners through a complete invocation cycle on the show. So that's a beautiful thing. And there's other things here about this, but I'm going to skip them because I don't want to go on too long in this section. I hope you will join us live on that show. I'm also continuing to be part of the 2016 Soul Path Summit. That's been playing for a while, a couple of weeks, more actually, but my segment hasn't come on yet. So if you've been hearing me talk about Soul Path Summit and you thought it was too late, it's not. As of today, as I record this, my segment has still not come onto the show. So you can sign up now and still catch me on Soul Path Summit talking about a similar topic. So again, that's all on astroshaman.com. You can learn more about it there. If you happen to be in my local area, I'm going to be doing a show in Knoxville, Tennessee this Saturday, March 19th. That's tomorrow as I record this. So if you want to check out the Crystalline Light Expo, I'll be doing walk-up sessions there and a shamanic awakening ceremony in the morning. And finally, my Ease Embodied Awakening Support Experience remains available. Weekly events via phone or web to help you enjoy more harmony, grace, and flow in your life, eliminate suffering, increase your intuition and synchronicity, stop mental chatter and challenging emotions, live each day in a peaceful, awakened state, and enjoy support from kindred spirits on your journey. It's a weekly event. If you can't make it live, there is an online recording library, and the recordings do carry the juice. And here in Asheville, I do a shamanic awakening meetup every third Tuesday by Love Offering. So that's the announcements. What's coming up on the next forecast? There's going to be a new moon in Aries. We're going to have a new T-square with Mars, Jupiter, and Neptune. We're going to have Neptune sextiling Vesta and trining Juno, two asteroid goddess contacts. And the Sun is going to align with Pluto and Uranus. So as always, I will be here giving you the best use of these astrological energies. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my Benjamin Bernstein YouTube channel to be notified when I post new videos. And if you like this video, please share it. This free video forecast is a partner project with iTunes #1 astrology audio podcast, This Week in Astrology. It's also free. You can get my semi-monthly astrology forecast in writing by subscribing to my free email newsletter at astroshaman.com. Once you're there, you can also link to my Facebook page where I post daily forecasts. My personal services include astrology, shamanic healing, and awakening activation. All are equally effective in person or long distance. My guarantee makes my services risk-free. If you don't feel that your experience was helpful, no charge. I also offer other great products and services, many of which are free. To learn more, visit astroshaman.com. Thanks again for watching. I wish you infinite blessings as the stars light your way.